be or is already in our CE books that are printing for both the Gold Coast side and the Burt Rogers side will be on the inside back covers, the marketing flyer for this, material for this. And those will be dropping in mailboxes in the next 2 weeks or so. So we should get some impact on that. IXACT Contact is a contact management system for brokers, for agents. And essentially what we've arranged with IXACT Contact is to be their partner here in Florida and be a marketing arm for it. But what they do is give our students a free trial. So there's literally no risk for the students. They sign up if they like it. They just start to pay after the free trial is over. If they don't, then they just cancel. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody on this. For you, Rich, on our end, we've got Jackie Luciano, who's our customer service manager, is on the phone, and Rob Somerton is here. He's our client relationship manager. So he's on the street talking to brokers and runs our career fairs and all that. Wayne Hassey is here in my office as well. Wayne's our real estate program director. So he's been a real estate office manager and been in real estate 30 years, Wayne, 30 plus years. And then Tim Marcus is also on, and Tim is our marketing director. So
fantastic.
That's the crew from our side.
All right, good turnout. Okay, should I take it away?
Yes, please do.
All right, so thank you everyone for your time this morning. Really excited to share with you guys what IXACT Contact is, what we're about, what makes us special. And I'm assuming, by the way, I sort of booked this for an hour. Does that work for everyone? And that is going to allow time for sort of positioning, a bit of demonstration, and also Q&A at the end.
Should be good, yes.
Okay. So as you can see, can everyone see my screen, by the way? You should see like a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, good. So as you can tell from the beginning here, IXACT Contact, is primarily a real estate CRM and email marketing, all in one easy solution. It also happens to include a beautiful realtor website, and I'm going to show you examples of all of this as we go. But first, I realize you guys are training across a huge, wide, broad spectrum of things that realtors need to learn about, or people need to learn about to become realtors. And contact management is one tiny sliver of everything that they need to learn and everything that you guys train on. So I'm going to take a moment and just define what is real estate CRM. So CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, and it's usually a system. So a CRM is a Customer Relationship Management System. Some coaches or trainers will call it a contact management system or a database. Those tend to be older terms. CRM, the difference between a CRM and a contact management system is that contact management systems typically were kind of static. It's where you put your contact data and it sat there and it was, it was there when you needed it. CRM is a more dynamic thing. Yes, it is where you store and manage your customer data, but it's also where you manage all your keep in touch communications, where you have your contact history of what you've talked about, where you can also manage your active business and so on. So think of it as a sort of a more dynamic next gen kind of type of contact management. And traditionally, in any business, not just real estate, a CRM helps the salesperson do three key things. It is a place where you need someplace where you can store and manage all your contact data. And this issue of one centralized database is key. You wouldn't believe how many agents I talk to that have their contact data literally scattered across 4 and 5 different places. They'll say, yeah, I've been using Outlook for 20 years, but then I've got a website and I capture leads off the website, but those leads they're still in the website. And then I've got some over here in an Excel spreadsheet, and I've got some over here in Gmail because my daughter told me I should have a Gmail account. Anyway, their contact data is all over the place, and they drive themselves crazy trying to find just simple things. I need to give Jane Doe a call, and they struggle to find the data. So centralized database is key. Second key benefit, if you're using it properly, a CRM helps you to keep in touch and stay top of mind with everyone, with current prospects, current clients, past clients, very important, and those important referral sources. And then thirdly, it helps you to stay organized. So a CRM includes usually a full-blown calendar and task list. So it's really not just contact management. It's management of your whole business. So that's what a CRM typically does. A real estate CRM, as opposed to a horizontal CRM, is designed specifically for the needs of realtors. And the big difference will show up in 2 ways. One, it'll have a lot of data fields for data capture that are unique to the kind of things realtors care about. It'll have content that's designed specifically for realtors. This could be, entire, lead nurture campaigns, email letter templates, and even active business management. So the bottom line is a CRM, particularly a real estate CRM, helps a realtor ultimately to build a referrals-based business. And if you ask me, we're going to look at a lot of functionality, but if you say, what's the heart and soul of Exact Contact? The heart and soul of the system, even though it's very broad and helps the realtor in a lot of different aspects of their business, the heart and soul, or the raison d'etre, is to make sure that a realtor never again loses a referral or repeat transaction. Just never lose another one ever again. If the CRM is doing its job and the realtor is using the CRM properly, that's kind of the big uber benefit that comes out of it. A little bit of data on why a CRM is so important. Are you guys familiar with Active Rain? You may or may not. Yeah, it's a large, well, it's the largest online community of real estate agents in the world. I think they're currently around 400,000 members. And it's really, it is a community. It's where realtors can talk to realtors and blog and talk about their successes and their challenges and so on. Anyway, a couple of years ago, Active Rain did a survey of all their members called the Rich Agent, Poor Agent. And it was a very interesting study because they set out to figure out what are the key differentiators between the rich agents, which they define as agents who basically make 100 grand or more kind of year in and year out, and the poor agents who made 35 grand or less year in and year out. So they kind of ignored the middle. They want to know what separates the rich from the poor in a sense. And they looked at, there was like 60 different factors. What car do you drive? Do you have an assistant? Do you have a website? Do you do Facebook? Do you do bus advertising? Like just on and on and on. And the number one differentiator by far between the rich agents and the poor agents was that the rich agents were twice as likely as the poor ones to be using a real estate CRM. Interestingly, close behind use of a CRM was email marketing, and particularly the use of a monthly e-newsletter. It was also integral to their success. So, you can kind of say, well, I don't know. I know agents who've done just fine without a CRM. And that's true. The world existed before computers. We did all jobs without computers and software at one point. But the data kind of says that, a CRM really is a cornerstone tool. And these days, realtors have, and I just was at the leading real estate companies of the world conference in Miami a couple of weeks ago. I was at Inman in New York back in January. And it is just overwhelming the amount of technology coming at a real estate agent today, and it's accelerating. But a lot of them are sexy, they're new, there's the next shiny object, they're often very niche, this little kind of thing that does this one tiny thing, but it does it really cool. But you have to say, okay, of this cornucopia of technology being sort of thrust at the agents, what are the cornerstones? Nice housing metaphor there. What are the cornerstones for success in real estate? And one of them is definitely your real estate CRM. It's probably the cornerstone. If you're to be a real estate agent and you could just pick one piece of technology, I would argue it should be your CRM because that's your database. And ultimately, this is a people business. You build your career by developing relationships and servicing people and hopefully getting them to know, like, and trust you, and hopefully getting them to call you back, with referrals and repeat transactions. So that's why the data is so important. Two other little pieces of data I want to share with you, and then I'm gonna move off the data point. But I think it's important to establish the why. Why is CRM important before you really would be that interested in what is Exact's Contact CRM all about. So two pieces of data. One is that, and these are both data from NAR, and they do a big buyer-seller survey every year, and this data doesn't change all that much one year to the next, unfortunately. So one of the things they ask people is, where do you get your business? They ask realtors, where do you get your business? And it turns out that referrals or repeat transactions from past clients typically account for about 70% of an agent's business. The other 25 to 30% comes from everything else, all other sources, all their advertising, their promotions, their TV, their print ads, everything else. Sadly, though, if you look at where you spend your time and your money, it's often the inverse. They're spending all their time and money on these, expensive advertising, buying leads and so on, and ignoring, in some cases, the nurturing of their database, which actually the data says that's where most of your business is going to come from. The other interesting point is that, again, they ask in this survey, NAR asks homeowners after a transaction, whether they were buying or selling, how satisfied were you with the services of your realtor? And 85% of them were either satisfied or very satisfied, and basically said, yeah, I would use Joe again. And yet when those same homeowners are contacted after their next transaction, and they're asked, did you use Joe again? 4 years ago or 6 years ago or 3 years ago, you said you used Joe. Less than 25% actually do. So 85% said they would, and yet 25% actually do. And why is that? Very simple, tragically simple. They said, you know what? I didn't use Joe. I couldn't remember his name. It was 4 years ago. Haven't heard from the guy. Couldn't remember his name. So my cousin recommended Bob over there, and I went with Bob. But you have to ask yourself, whose fault is that? And the answer, of course, is blindingly obvious. It ain't the consumer's fault. It's not the homeowner's fault. It's the realtor's fault. The realtor failed to keep in touch. So the bottom line here is that a real estate CRM helps the agent to keep in touch and stay top of mind with past clients and important referral sources, and that's what drives the business. So that's a little sort of 10-minute intro to CRM and why it's important. Any questions on that before I move into what makes Exact Contact unique?
Not for me. I think we're good.
Okay, let me go ahead. So what is Exact Contact? Exact Contact basically is a next generation real estate CRM. CRM is not a new thing. It's been around for a long time, but we're a next generation CRM. And I'm going to show you that sort of in the demo part. So it's CRM, and it's much, much more at a pretty unbelievably low price. I'll tell you what it is now, because I don't like keeping people in suspense. So John mentioned that anybody who signs up through Gold Coast, using the Gold Coast, what we call promotion code, or actually partner code, they get an extended 60-day free trial. So normally it's 5 weeks. Coming in through Gold Coast, they get 60 days. Rookies, by the way, get 6 months free, and we'll come back to that later. At the end of the free trial period, monthly billing begins. It's $34.95 per month. There's no contract, unlike one of our biggest competitors, Top Producer. There's no contract with Exact Contact. You're not locked in for a year. So even after your 60-day free trial, you're billed month by month. You can cancel at any time without penalty. But for $35 a month, you're going to be, I think, amazed at what you get for $35 a month. And one of those things that you get is the best support in the industry. And again, I'll kind of expand on that in a bit. So some of the things at a high level, like if I had 1 minute with an executive and he said, Rich, you got a minute, tell him what makes you unique. These are the bullets that I would hit. I would say number one, ease of use far and away, particularly compared to Top Producer, which is kind of the granddaddy in this space. It's no comparison. We're not a little bit easier. It's an order of magnitude difference. Just something about the way we architected the software. I guess Top Producer has been around 30 years. It's a very powerful software, but it's just got layers and layers of complexity on it. And when I speak to Top Producer refugees, the word I hear most often is overwhelmed. I'm just overwhelmed by it. It's overwhelming. So Exact Contact is order of magnitude, just quicker to learn, easier to put to use in your business, just more intuitive navigation. Second big differentiator is the solution breadth. So contact management systems CRMs typically are really good at contact management. They've got, drip campaigns and things like that. But we've taken the email marketing side of it to a different level, which I'm going to show you, and we've really incorporated a website into the solution as well. So it's CRM, email marketing, and website at that $35 a month price point. Third big difference is automation. And again, I'll show you what we mean, but I want to tell you the genesis of this because when we launched about 7 years ago, I was doing training webinars and things like that, and I think one of them was called, the 10 key steps to effective contact management. And I would be presenting and I would say, well, number one, you should do this. Number two, you should do that. Number three, it's important you do this. And by the time I got to the fourth, you should do this, the agent's eyeballs were rolling into the back of their head. The last thing they needed was somebody telling them more things that they need to do. And so that kind of got me thinking. And then I happened to be talking to a couple of agents. And in a couple of days, I heard the same thing almost verbatim, and a light bulb went off. What I heard was, I'm talking to the agent, said, are you using a CRM? The agent says, no, I'm not. I know I should be. My trainer tells me I should. My broker tells me I should. But I just don't have a half an hour or an hour today to put into my CRM. And the light bulb went off that realtors are very reluctant to adopt a CRM because they think they're going to have to put a half an hour or an hour today working for the software as opposed to the software working for them. So that sort of torqued our whole development strategy, which started almost 5 years ago, towards us asking a simple question: how can we enhance Exact Contact so that it's working for the realtor and not the realtor working for the software. And it was a very simple question we ask ourselves every day, and the result has been just a wealth of automation where you can very quickly get Exact Contact set up and running and working for you. And even if you don't do any of those important 10 things that I said, you should do this and you should do that to practice effective contact management, even if you don't do any of those things, which of course you should still do, but if you don't, you go to Hawaii for a 3-month sabbatical, the software is still working for you in a lot of remarkable ways and adding value to your business, and it's taking 0 time. So we flipped it from the software being something the agent has to put time into to the software almost acting like their virtual assistant. And that's a theme that comes through in customer testimonials a lot. The concierge service is all around the setup. I'll talk about that later. But the number 5 is important. When you have a great solution, and it truly is easy to set up and learn, when it's providing value right across contact management, keeping in touch, lead generation, lead nurturing, and conversion, and you provide automation so it doesn't take much of your time, and then you make it easy to get going through a concierge service, the value is huge and the business impact is big. I won't go into that today, but I do one presentation where I talk about, I actually do the numbers on the ROI. If using Exact Contact basically helps you, get 1 new listing per quarter. And, I won't go into it, but the assumptions are extremely conservative, but the ROI over the course of 10 years, is, you basically add $100,000 plus to your annual income. And when I run these assumptions by brokers and agents, they say, yeah, of course, that's a no-brainer. So the ROI can be massive. Number 6, team and broker capabilities. More important to brokers. At this point, all I'll say is Exact works fine for individuals and for teams. Let's talk about some of the basics. So before we get into some of the next gen stuff, these are the kind of things every good real estate CRM should do, and of course we have it. So detailed contact profiles and develop the ability to track contact history. So that's important in a good real estate CRM. Very important, contact grouping and searching. So can I put people in multiple groups? Can I have an A list, B list, C list? Active listing, hot lead, cool lead, unqualified lead. Groups related to, how I know people, my HP alumni group or my university group, whatever. The answer is yeah, you can group people. People can be in multiple groups, and the searching and filtering is very easy. Automated keep-in-touch reminders are a big, big thing for CRMs. Most CRMs will help you keep in touch. The question is, how automated is it? And I'm going to show you just how automated it is in Exact Contact. Active business area. So, if you have a generic CRM, you cannot manage your active business, your listings and your buyers. With Exact Contact, there's a nice, strong active business area there that includes listing and closing activity plans. So when you get a new listing, you can assign a plan. It basically prompts you day by day on the things you need to be doing to move this, to market and sell this listing to a successful sale. And of course, all these plans are customizable, but the idea is let the system be like your virtual assistant and tell you day by day what you need to be doing on all your active buyers and your open listings, versus lying in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning staring at the ceiling because you can't sleep because you're so worried about the 85 things running around in your brain and you're worried you're going to drop the ball or miss an appointment or whatever. And then automated lead capture and nurturing is important. So no matter where the agent is getting their leads from, we don't care if they've got another website. You don't have to use Exact Contact's website. It's added value. But if you say, no, I've got a great website, built it 3 years ago, works fine for me, that's fine. We can auto-capture those leads and your Zillow leads and wherever else you're buying leads from. We can suck them right into the database for you. You don't have to do a thing. And they get auto-assigned to the right group and auto-assigned to what's called an autoresponder and a drip nurture campaign after that. So those are what we consider the basics. And there's a lot there. That is sort of the foundation of the system. But then some of the features that make us different are the following. We have a phenomenal monthly e-newsletter. I won't say much right now because I'd rather show it to you, but this is professionally written and designed, always fresh content, fully customizable and branded with the agent's branding, and fully automated. So there's no other real estate CRM that has something like this. Most CRMs give you a template, and the agent sits there looking at this blank template trying to figure out what they should write about and where to find photos. But they're not writers. They're not copywriters, and they don't have the time. They don't have the skills in most cases. Number 2, we include a mobile-friendly lead-generating website, which I'll show you as well. Email campaign reporting is very cool. Most CRMs, in fact, every real estate CRM that I'm aware of, does not have campaign reporting. they have mass email. What that means is when you send out your mass email, you have no idea what happened to it. You don't know who opened it, who clicked on what links, whatever. You kind of sit by the phone or you by your computer and hope someone hits the reply button. With campaign reporting, the idea is that you can go into a dashboard the day after you send a mass email, and you can see not just what percentage of people opened it or whatever. You can see the names of the people who opened your email, how many times they opened it, and who clicked on what hyperlinks. Yeah, sure.
Who did the emails actually come from? What is the sending address?
It comes from the agent. So even though we're driving it through a mass email server, it comes from the agent. So it actually, technically, we're sending it, not the agent, but it's got the agent's name. The from is John Greer. If the recipient hits the reply button, the reply comes back to you at your personal email address.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, so typically with a real estate CRM, if you want campaign reporting, you've got to also sign up for what's a dedicated email marketing platform like a Constant Contact or a MailChimp. But now you're paying for two systems, your CRM and your MailChimp, and you're constantly having to export your data from your CRM, import it into your email platform, do the mass email, but now all the data that comes back is trapped in the mass email platform. You don't have that in your contact history. You don't have the unsubscribes. You don't have who clicked on what. So there's a big, big difference here by integrating the campaign reporting right into your CRM. We also have a terrific mobile app. I'll give you a quick peek at that. We support Google Sync, which is really popular these days because Gmail rules. But there's still about 20%, 25% of the world that uses Outlook. We sync with Outlook as well as Mac Address Book and iCal. 100% Apple compatible, Teams I mentioned, and we have social media integration, which again I'll show you if we have a second. The concierge setup service is our last differentiator, and you notice I have a whole slide for this. So I've kind of got a slide for all these great features, and each one of them, each one of these features, particularly the first three, are huge. But I just put them all on one slide. I give the concierge setup service its own slide because it is so unique and it's such a game changer for the agents we work with. Traditionally, when you sign up with a CRM, in the old days when we launched, 7 years ago, you signed up and you got a welcome email if you're lucky, and it kind of said to upload your data, open the attached PDF and follow our 3 easy steps. But each step had 5 sub-steps, so it's actually 15 steps. And half the time you needed to be a PhD in computer science to figure it out. So we decided when we launched IXACT Contact that we would upload the agent's data for them, no matter where it was coming from, how ugly, the source, we would do it. And if they didn't know how to get their data into an electronic form, you're talking to an elderly, a not so technical lady, her data's in Top Producer, it's been there for 20 years. She doesn't know how to export it. We'll go into with her in a screen share to help her export her data from Top Producer or from her MLS or wherever it's hiding, and then we'll import it into IXACT. Over the last few years, everybody started to copy it. So now even Top Producer will upload your data for you. But that's where it stops. And for us now, we raise the bar. That's where it begins. So after we get your data uploaded, what our support rep will say to the customer, your data is uploaded. Sounds good. So what would you like to do next? Do you use Gmail? Would you like to sync your Outlook data, your IXACT data with your Google Contacts and iCal? Good. Let's get that set up. What about the monthly newsletter? You want to take advantage of that? Good. I'm going to help you right now. We're going to get that set up so it's going out for you this month. And let's build an email header for you now so your newsletters and all your email marketing has your branding. Would you like to take advantage of our keep in touch call reminders and so on? So at the end of this concierge setup process, data is uploaded, they're syncing with their Gmail, their newsletter's going out with a nice header, they've got automated keep in touch call reminders so they don't lose touch with people again, their leads are automatically flowing into their database, and if they did want to take advantage of our website, they have a professional website up and running. This entire service is free of charge. It's free. And the person's not even committed to paying us any money because they're in their free trial status. Why do we do this? Are we crazy? No. It's a smart business decision, we feel, because when we can get the agent up and running and seeing real business value from the system quickly, they're that much more likely to feel good about paying $35 a month when their credit card starts getting charged. So it's a retention strategy, and it's been paying off for us fantastically. Oddly, none of our competitors have copied us. They upload your data, and then they point you to the tutorial video library to learn the rest. So it's a big differentiator for us. as is the last thing on the slide. I mentioned that rookies get 6 months free. This is for real. And it's not like they get 6 months of a demo system or they can only load 100 contacts. It's the full enchilada, unlimited contacts, full support. They get the concierge setup service, unlimited support for 6 months. They can have 6 months of their monthly newsletter going out. They can have a live website for 6 months. It's free. And again, we launched this about 3.5, 4 years ago. At the time, we thought this will be a unique differentiator for us for maybe half a year, and then our competitors will copy us. And it's 4 years later, and not one competitor has copied us. Rookies just get whatever the standard is for that CRM, 2 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. So those are some of the things that make us different. Where's the proof here? You know, I'm telling you, it's a pretty good system, great support and all that. We are one of the fastest growing real estate CRMs, I say worldwide. North America actually is where we sell. But I'm not actually aware of that many CRMs that are international. We're very highly rated. If you go to Active Rain and just search Exact Contact, I think there's something like 46 or 47 reviews, and they're extremely positive. And the same with places like Software Advice and RE Tech. Endorsed by leading real estate coaches and trainers, even phenomenal companies like Gold Coast. And we have hundreds of client testimonials on our testimonials page. Even the worst company in the world can find 4 or 5 customers that will say something good about them. We receive unsolicited testimonials basically every day, and we just every few months we batch them up and add them to our testimonials page. We have so many, we broke them into categories. There's 5 different categories. There's general and ease of use, business benefits, mobile app, websites, I forget what they all are. So you can, support, that's a big one. So you can actually drill down and say, I wonder what people say about Exact Contact support. And bam, there's all the testimonies related to support specifically. So it's a pretty powerful testimonial to just, and we're not a Fortune 500 company. To have hundreds of testimonials is pretty big. I'm going to highlight 6 testimonials in particular here quickly because there's a couple of themes that come across, and now you're hearing it from agents, not from me. And these are real agents. These are what you call attributed testimonials, not John F, Reno, Nevada. So here's Dennis Paradis. I believe the Exact Contacts helped me double my business this year. That's a real, these are real results. It's not just, it's a nice software and I like using it. Mary Wibble, newsletter is outstanding. Every time I send it, I get at least 1 inquiry from someone I hadn't connected with, which has led to contracts. Send newsletter, get contracts. That's a good thing. Birgit Dugan, the whole issue of keeping in touch with people. I never forget a birthday, anniversary, or any special event ever again. I love Exact Contact. This system is like having an assistant. So there's that assistant theme. And then Robert here, I love Exact Contact. Less than 1 month, I got 2 referrals that resulted in listings. I used to have trouble keeping in touch with folks over time, but not anymore. And then the last little testimonials, I kind of end with a strong punch here. So Scott Cooper over at KW, with Exact Contact, I'm communicating with my clients better and I'm getting more business from my database. I'm probably making between $50,000 and $75,000 a year more than I was before. These are real results. We didn't put those words in Scott's mouth. That's his estimation of the impact Exact Contact has had on his business. And then Keith Roy over in British Columbia, Exact Contact, the system helped us increase our business by over 100% in the 2 years we've been using it. So the theme I'm trying to get across here is, A, CRM is very important. B, the results can be very tangible and the ROI can be quite outstanding. From a value point of view, I mean, we should probably be charging way more than we do, but it's a competitive market. But when you look at what you're getting with Exact, because you're getting a full world-class, robust CRM, but you're also getting a newsletter that's professionally designed and written, email marketing platform like a Constant Contact, and a website. You're depending on if you had to get those 4 components individually, you'd be looking at $90 to $230 a month. $90 would be the bare minimum. You could put those 4 solutions together, and $200 would be kind of the high end. But it doesn't matter. With Exact Contact, you're getting all 4 components for $35 a month. I'm going to skip over that and just do a little. So a couple of quick Q&A, and then I'm going to jump into just showing you a bit about the software. I'll send these slides to you, John, because this one in particular you may want to share with the team. How does an agent learn more about Exact Contact? This is the URL you want to point them to. When they want to sign up, this is the URL they should use. And the reason there's these special URLs is they need to sign up at exactcontact.com/goldcoast to get the 60-day free trial. If they need to learn more, if you just send them to our generic website, when they eventually click the free trial button, we'll have no idea they came from Gold Coast, so we won't be able to give them the 60-day free trial. So if you give them this, let me just show you where this basically goes to our public website homepage, but it's got a cookie attached. So when they eventually decide to sign up, could be later that day or 2 weeks later, it will take them to the right registration page. LM just means learn more. So this kind of says, hey, I'm coming from Gold Coast, and I went to the learn more section, whereas this is right to the registration page. Okay. How does the client get up and running? We talked about that. Basically, they sign up, they get our concierge setup service. Here's a phone number if you guys want it. Our support team is open 9 to 8, Monday to Friday. If the client, if you're speaking with someone, they say, I want to learn more about IXACT, I have questions. Who do I speak with? Here's your data. If it's sales related, they haven't signed up yet, it's Shannon. If they've got an account, for some reason they've got questions and they happen to be talking to you, here's where you would direct them to, our support team. And then lastly, who's the perfect client? It's basically anybody. Any individual agent, team of agents. I didn't talk about our team version, but we handle any size team. Teams of 2, teams of 4, teams of 12, doesn't matter. Even brokerages, we do corporate deals at the brokerage level for companies that want to pick a strategic CRM partner and roll it out across all their agents, on kind of a site license basis. We just talked about that. There's the key. Even rookies, by the way, they still sign up here, and then all they need to do is contact us. They need to verify their rookie status. So after they sign up for the standard 60-day free trial, they need to send us something to verify that they're a rookie, which could be typically what we say is send us a copy of your license, copy of your certificate that you got from your training school saying, hey, you graduated, or an email from your broker. As the people you're going to be talking to, a lot of them won't be licensed yet. They're in training to get their license. I would accept an email from any Gold Coast employee. So people don't have to wait till they're licensed to get started with their CRM. They can start anytime. I say the sooner the better. The sooner you put this in place, it's a cornerstone, the better. So they could be weeks away or months away from actually being licensed. They can still start. But how do I know they're a rookie? Since they can't send me a copy of their license, I would say I'll take an email from anybody at Gold Coast that just says, Rich, just letting you know, Jane Smith just signed up. She's a rookie. Give her the 6 months. Done.
Okay.
All right. Next, I wanted to move into a little bit of show and tell. Any questions about Exact Contact, the positioning of the software, the core components, before I move on?
I think we're good.
All right. So I'm going to jump right into Exact Contact. And when I log in, this is the home page. Let me just clean it up a little bit, get rid of the stuff at the top. So this is the home page. And like any good software, I'm going to give you a quick orientation here. There's a main nav bar across the top. I'm not going to touch on every aspect of the software. This is more of a top of the waves, kind of hitting some of the highlights. And then there's, on your home page, we give you a quick summary of your listings and your active buyers under contract, as well as quick access to any tasks that are due today or overdue, and any appointments that are due today. If you want to go to your full task list or your full calendar, that's these tabs up here. But you'll notice something. Where's the contacts tab? I see home, task list, calendar. This is a CRM. It's supposed to be all about the contacts. Where is it? Well, there is no contacts tab because your contacts are always available to you no matter what you're doing in the workspace. This is your workspace. This left column is persistent. It always gives you quick, immediate access to your contacts. And it sounds like a little thing, but it's actually a huge ease of use feature. And I'll just give you a quick example. Let's suppose I'm a realtor, I got a new listing, and I want to promote it. One of the things we provide are templates for just listed e-cards and e-flyers and just sold e-cards and e-flyers. So I grab Exact Contacts, one of the templates for an just listed e-flyer, and I'm down here and I'm just filling it's a template, right? I'm putting in the address where it tells me to, and putting in the photos where it tells me to, and adding a bit of data. And of course, like any good email, every good marketing email should have a call to action. In this case, it's a link over to my website where I have a page on this listing, learn more about this beautiful home. But I realized, oh darn, I was supposed to give Stan Novak a call at 9:30. It's 9:40. I'm late. So in most systems, you'd have to go to your contact tab, but possibly lose what you were just working on. In Exact Contact, I just search for Novak by first name, last name, address, doesn't matter. There he is. Now, if I hit this little More Info button, little plus sign, I don't even have to open his contact profile. If I just need to give him a call, there's his reminder what his spouse's name is, all my phone numbers. I can actually fire off an email right from here, and that's where he lives. So I pick up the phone. I have a good chat with Stan. At the end of it, I hang up. And actually, one of the things that I should do, if I am practicing effective contact management, I should make a little note on what we talked about. So I go, phone call made, and I just type in, what did we talk about? And I could pick up some interesting things like, I just learned Stan and Carlita got back from a trip to Italy. Turns out they love Europe. They go to Europe every year. I should make a note of that because next time I talk to them, which could be 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, I might want to ask them, hey, what are you and Carlita planning for your next European trip? I know you'd like to go every winter. Last year was Italy. What are you thinking of this year? We had a great experience in south of Spain and whatever. But he might also say something really important, like just in the course of conversation, might mention that he's thinking of buying a downtown condo for his son who's about to finish high school and go to university downtown. In that case, I want to make a little note. I want to set up a follow-up task. So I would say, follow up with Stan downtown condo buy in summer. So let's see, right? This is May, or sorry, we're in March. He said summer. Maybe I'll follow up. I don't want to nag him. Maybe early May. I'll give him a call. Yes, send me an email reminder, and I'm done. So now, very quickly, I found my phone numbers, made a call, made a note on what we talked about that went to contact history, and I made a follow-up note for May 1st to see if Stan's still on track for buying a downtown condo. Can I help him with that? Now I finish off my e-flyer and send it out the door. So that's why this little contact list is very handy because it doesn't interrupt my flow. And it's simple. If I want to get to the full contact profile, I just click Stan's name. But before I do that, actually, I want to show you one thing because I always forget this, but it's important. If I want to work with my contacts en masse, I open up what's called the list view. And it's almost like sort of an Excel spreadsheet. I can display all my contacts, or I can search them by any way you can imagine. Pull up everybody who's in my A list, where that, I also worked with at HP, and I have an active listing with. You can get very granular and very specific, or I can just say, no, just pull everybody into my list. And you see it's now a tabular view of all your contacts. You've got a quick summary of their home address. Again, those little handy, make a note or set up a task. I can send an email. The moment I click on one or more contacts or select them all, a whole bunch of functionality becomes available at the bottom. This is like the Swiss Army knife of the system. You guys know Swiss Army knives? There's one knife for cutting, one is a saw blade, another opens your can of beer, and so on. So this is the Swiss Army knife because you can pick a group of contacts and you can create a mass email to them right from here. You don't even have to be in the mass email tab. I got a group of people, I want to send them a mass email, or I want to create letters, or print envelopes or labels. I want to print the list. I want to send this list to the predefined reports, send it to an Excel spreadsheet, and probably most powerfully are these two. Mass assign all these people to an activity plan, which is like a predefined series of communications, or mass assign all these people to a specific group. So that's sort of the list view. If I want to see the details of a specific contact, I click on their name, and now I open the full contact profile. But the navigation is very easy. There's a main nav bar, and then there's a sub nav bar, and it never goes any deeper. So that's what I was saying earlier. With some software, you click and you click and you click, and you kind of go deeper and deeper, and pop-ups appear, or you're in different windows. You can get to places where you don't know where you are or how you got there or how to get out. In IXACT, it doesn't happen. This is as deep as the navigation goes for a contact. If I want to look up a listing, I go to Active Business. I say I want to check what's happening with, Sal Andrews. Now I've gone into a listing. Main nav bar, sub nav bar, consistent, easy formatting. So just showing you sort of why we say the navigation is so simple. If I go into Stan Novak, there actually is a real wealth of information here. My main contact profile is where I've got information on Stan, his spouse, partner. So all your communications are addressed to the couple. That's another big differentiator with the real estate CRM. Horizontal CRMs often treat the main contact and the spouse as two different contact records, but it makes it almost impossible to communicate to them as, dear Stan and Carlita, or hi, Stan and, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, whatever it is. So the system's designed to make it easy to communicate with couples as couples, because in real estate, that's how most decisions are made. You have their work details, multiple phone numbers, multiple email addresses. You can manage their unsubscribes here. So if someone unsubscribes, the system will actually change that flag from yes to no, and you can see a report of who's unsubscribed. But it kind of manages that for you. And then, one of the most important areas is the grouping. This is where you can see, oh, it looks like Stan's in my A list, he's in my HP alumni group, and he's in my United Way group. So you can add people to a group simply by, clicking on, clicking over here. You can say, oh, he's also a friend. Now he's in my friend group. You can track source of contact, personal details, and so on. So that's the main sort of contact profile. Obviously, you only put in the information you have. Activities and history is where, I'm just going to leave that, is where I see any activity I've had with someone. This is the very nonsensical note I just made. And I can also see any pending activities. So there's the one I just made for May 1st, follow up with Stan, read downtown condo buy. The last little thing I'm going to focus on here is the keep in touch tab. Hang on one second. My computer just froze. It's never done that before. That's weird. It's not actually IXACT, it's my computer. I can't get out of this view. Let me try that. Oh, that's bizarre. Murphy's Law, oh, I see why. Hang on one second. I'm actually out of memory, my computer. That's what I'm looking at here. Here's my Windows Task Manager. Why is that not? Let me just close down a bunch of things. Sorry, the computer needs memory to work. And I guess I just had way too much stuff open. I'm going to close that window. I can always come back to it. PowerPoint uses a lot. Okay, let's see if we start working now. There we go. So there's a lot of tabs here. You can track the agent's properties, whether they're on their business directory. You can upload documents, unlimited document upload and storage at the contact level or the transaction level. Track all your property history, contacts' buying preferences. What are they looking for, either actively, or what would tease them into moving? What's their dream home look like? They may not even be active today, but if you ever found a home on this particular area of this price range or size, they would move in a heartbeat. That's good data to have, and you've got your business history. But what I wanted to show you quickly was the Keep in Touch tab. And this is a sort of unique feature where we pull together across the calendar and the task list into one little dashboard all the things that you have planned out into the future that will keep you in touch with Stan and Carlita. So there's sort of three different types of events. There's what I call one-to-many events, like global keep-in-touch events, with something like a party. You're inviting everybody to a 4th of July fireworks party. You can set that up and manage the event here, and you can see, oh, looks like I didn't invite. Right now, Stan's not invited. Maybe he has a problem with loud noises, so fireworks aren't good for him. But I could change that and just say, no, you know what? I'm going to invite him to this party. The monthly e-newsletter is considered a keep-in-touch event, one-to-many. I haven't activated it, so there's no little box there. Then there's keep-in-touch events that are specific to that contact. And then there's activity plans. I can see if I've assigned this contact to an activity plan. So in one little place, you can see all your keep-in-touch activities. Now, I could look at this and say, I would love to get a birthday reminder, and I'm sure I've got a birthday for Stan. Why isn't there something here? All I need to do is activate it. But first, I need to actually set it in the main settings. I'm going to show you that. This is what the concierge service would do. But what I can do right now is I can say, you know what, Stan's on my A list. And if you're on my A list, I want to make sure that every 90 days, once a quarter, I get a reminder to give you a call. So first thing I do is set, when do I want this to start? It can start tomorrow, Or maybe I just talked to Stan a month ago and I say, push it out 2 months, we'll start 1st of May. I activate it. And now the system, it's like a safety net. Every 90 days, starting May 1st, a task will appear to give Stan a keep in touch call. So no longer will people fall through the cracks. The big fear realtors have is they realize because they've been super busy, months go by, and now they've fallen out of touch with the people in their database. And now they're afraid to pick up the phone because they're embarrassed and they don't know what to talk about, they don't know what to say. So this is your safety net. No matter how busy you get, every 90 days, you're going to get a reminder, give Stan a call. You pick up the phone and say hello. So that's the Keep in Touch tab at a contact level. There's also a Keep in Touch tab here. I want to go here for a second because this is where some of the automation really comes to the fore. We have an automated birthday reminder and move-in anniversary reminder. What does that mean? In most CRMs, let's say you've got 800 contacts and you've managed to collect birthdays just over the years on 200 people. In most CRMs, you'd have to go into those 200 contacts one by one, put their birthday in your calendar, make that calendar appointment a recurring annual event, save it, and then go to the next contact and do it all over again. Here's how it works in IXACT Contact. There's a little bit of setup here. It actually takes about 20 seconds to do. Because I'm talking, it'll take a little longer. The default is just include it in my calendar and give me a reminder, to my email the day of the thing. I could say, you know what, give me a reminder the day before, or I could even say, give me a reminder 7 days before, a calendar reminder. I can also create a task reminder if I like that better. I could say, you know what, just leave it in my calendar, but 7 days before the birthday, I'd like to get a reminder. So a task will show up on my task list, and I'll get an email reminder. And the reason you might want to get a reminder a week in advance is it gives you that moment where you can give it a nanosecond of thought and say, oh, Stan's birthday is next week. What am I going to do? Am I just going to give him a call because we're old high school buddies, college buddies? Or is Stan maybe someone who's been an incredibly good client to me over the years? And he's given me multiple referrals. I've made tens of thousands of dollars of commission, in which case I might want to buy a box of his favorite cigars and have it couriered over to his home. But you need that heads up. You can't get a beautiful floral bouquet or get a card in the mail the day of. You need that heads up. So that's why you would set this up. But here's the beautiful part. I'm going to click 2 little buttons here. And when I click those 2 buttons, what I basically say to the software when I click this save is, scan my database, find every birthday for main contacts and spouse partners, put them in my calendar, and give me a task reminder 7 days in advance, and I'm done. So I just created 200 birthday reminders. I'm never going to miss a birthday again. I can ignore them, but I'm not going to miss them. And I can do the same thing with move-in anniversary. Same process, Yeah. I would get a reminder, 8 a.m. And now I'm telling the software, scan my database, scan the database, find every move-in anniversary, and create a task, put the move-in anniversary in my database and find the reminder. So the next thing is the monthly newsletter, and I want to show what that looks like first. So this is a sample of the monthly newsletter. At the top is the agent's, what we call the email header. This can be very simple or it can be very beautiful. In Julie's case, she actually has a graphic designer that's built her brand. It's on her website, her email marketing communications, her brochure, her business card, letterhead, everything, right? For agents who don't have a graphic designer, which is the vast majority of them, but they've got a photo of themselves and their logo, we can build a beautiful graphical header for them. We have a little tool we use. It's not a custom design. We're not custom web graphic designers, but we have a tool that creates a gorgeous graphical email header for them very quickly and easily. So that's the sort of the first component, and all your email marketing should have your header, because this is the branding touch. Even if someone doesn't open your email or read it, even if they go to delete it, you've still reminded them that, I'm Julie Thomas, your personal realtor for life, right? Then there's what we call the generic personal message. It's one of my favorite oxymorons, and the idea is that, even though this is a mass email that could be going to 500 or 1,000 people, it looks like it's come to, because it is personally addressed, so it's not a CC, you know, the mass email engine drives each one out as a personally addressed individual email. Dear Jane, hola Jorge, whatever the salutation is in your database it pulls from. But it looks like this is a personal message from Julie to Jane. Now, reality is we wrote it, but it's all editable. This is just full HTML. You can change the copy, add pictures, highlight your latest listing, whatever you like, and then we provide 3 articles. The articles are professionally designed and written by real estate marketing experts. They're always fresh content, never recycled, always will be fresh content from now to eternity. And there's 3 articles, and they're designed to be informative to homeowners and to position the sender, the agent, as sort of the expert in all things home and real estate related. So here's an example, you know, assessing a property's long-term potential. It's the little things that boost curb appeal and 5 questions to ask, you know, before you hire a home inspector. Now, we actually have a major enhancement that's going live this weekend. Currently, these 3 articles are not editable. So you can edit this area. Obviously, your header is your own, but the articles were fixed. But we've had a lot of people say, love your articles, love the fact that I don't have to try and write and create something like this. Makes me look so professional. But, you know, homes in the middle of Colorado Springs don't look like this, or homes in the south of Arizona don't look like this, Rich. That looks like some condo development in Boston. Can I change the photo? And the answer was always, no, sorry, this is the way it is. But we're in the release on Monday. All the articles are now fully editable. You can change the color. You can edit the text. You can change the title, change the copy here, swap the photo for one that looks more like your area. Or you could say, you know what, I hate this article. Delete the entire article. And you can also add your own articles to the newsletter, as many as you like. So you could say, hey, I like 2 of the 3 articles. I'm going to delete one of them, and I'm going to add one of my own. So the realtor now has that ability. But it's optional. They don't have to do it. If they say, you know, edit the thing, are you kidding? I don't have time for that. I just love the fact that it goes. They don't have to do a thing. It's still going to go just as it always has. The other big change is that the newsletter will now be responsive. So currently, this e-newsletter looks fantastic on your desktop, but on a phone, it's a little scrunched. You know, you kind of have to do that in Zoom to make it easy to read. It's now going to be a fully responsive, email responsive newsletter, and that's unique. Responsive websites have been around for a while, are pretty common. Responsive email is still a major technical challenge for a whole host of reasons. So that's what the newsletter looks like, and the setup is insanely simple. It takes about 3-4 minutes. Basically, you decide what month do I want it to go. You know, default is every month, but you could say, well, don't send it in December because I'm going to do a calendar. What day of the month you want it to go? The 1st of the month, the 3rd, the 2nd Tuesday, whatever time of day. Who's it going to, and so on. And then you hit save. Big decision really is who's my distribution list. For most realtors, they just assign their database. Send it to everybody. People don't want it, they can unsubscribe, right? But it's good content, it's not spam. And you can even tell the system that as your database grows, you know, let's say you're adding 15, 20, 25 people to your database each month. In most systems, you have to go back and rebuild a distribution list because it's a fixed thing. I built the distribution list, but now my database grew. Now I have to figure out who I added to my database so I can put them on my newsletter distribution list. With Exact Contact, with a check button, little check in the setup, you basically say, as my database grows, any new people I add to my database, put them on the newsletter distribution list as well. So that automation is done for you. So there's an awful lot of automation. If I go back to Stan Novak now, you'll note that, in the Keep in Touch area, since I turned on that birthday and move-in anniversary, it went and found birthdays for Stan, for Carlita, move-in anniversary, and these things are all set up and working. If I went through my entire database, wherever there's a date, that birthday reminder and move-in anniversary reminder is live. I realize we're almost out of time. I'm going to show you one thing very quickly that we haven't touched on, which is our website, just to give you a sense of how these look. So these are templated websites. There's a whole variety of different designs, but you'll be amazed, I think, at how rich these websites are. So the basic website is included in the $35 a month. If you want to add IDX, which is what pulls in the listings, that is actually an upgrade, an optional upgrade. So you can add IDX Standard for $13 a month, or IDX Professional, which is like, the kind of Ferrari of IDX, it's got every bell and whistle you can imagine, is $33 a month. So this is just an example of, how the website is nicely branded. The agent, adds their name, their photo, their logo. They can pick from our little drop down of slogans or type in their own. And we provide 16 pages of pre-written content. So all these pages, we've written content already. It's all editable for you, but you're not staring at a blank website and think, what am I going to write about? It's all there for you. There's a communities tab. You can create pages for your own communities. So it's very customizable. They've actually customized the right column here. There's your featured listings. Very powerful IDX behind it all. And they've actually got the translate button turned on. There's just a different one. I happen to have picked two that are both teams of two. No particular reason for that. Just different layouts and designs. I like what they've done. So they nuked our content and wrote their own, which I think is fantastic. This is all about them. They added a video. They added some widgets to their right column. They're using our Facebook feed, so you can pull in your Facebook and your Twitter, Facebook feed and Twitter feed. So it gives you an idea of what these sites look like. But this is really probably one of the best features of all. I'm now emulating an iPhone 6. And look how beautifully that site adjusted itself. The agent's branding is still right at the top, easy to read. I'm emulating an iPhone 6 in this particular case. There's their name, contact info, property search, goes right into their service philosophy and so on. So this is called responsiveness or mobile friendliness. It's how readable the website is on the phone. And if I go F12 on this one, so here's the listings. They stack properly, and that's a mobile friendly website. So let me stop there. Just kind of wanted to give you a quick feel. See there's a wide range of customization, but they're all bright, they're bold, and you can do a lot with them. This particular fellow took the neighborhoods and went to town, which is smart because the more you can have micro pages on micro neighborhoods, the better from an SEO point of view. So this is included with the IXACT Contact, and I realize I'm over time. So I'm going to stop and see if there are any questions. To just summarize, you're looking at something that is a world-class real estate CRM with tremendous contact profiles, grouping, searching, filtering, tremendous keep-in-touch reminders, a monthly newsletter. It takes 3 minutes to set up and then works for you, automated birthday, home anniversary, keep-in-touch call reminders that work for you, and a pretty attractive mobile-friendly website, $35 a month after a 60-day free trial. Or if you're a rookie, a 6-month free trial. And you get concierge setup service to get it all set up and working for you. Any questions at this point?
Any questions from you guys? Wayne or Rob or Jim?
Does the newsletter go directly to the person who signed up, or does it go to their contact list automatically?
The newsletter goes to their distribution list. So it could be whatever they set up. They could have said, send it to everybody in my contact list, or they could say, you know what, send it to everybody except those on my A+ list. Because if you're on my A+ list, which might be, say, my top 10% of my contacts, I'm going to send you a postal, like a print newsletter, because print stands out. But it's more expensive, right? A print newsletter is typically like around $1 a piece, whereas the e-newsletter virtually is free. So, but I can tell you from experience, the vast majority of realtors, they just say they assign it to their database, because basically everybody's a prospect in real estate. Everybody, your massage therapist, your dry cleaner, your dentist, your nephew, everybody is a potential client. So why not include them all? It's monthly, and most people get tremendous results from it. So within the e-newsletter, you definitely don't want it to be a PDF that comes to you and then you resend it. That's very old school, and PDFs, are a major block. They'll stop your mail from being delivered. So this goes as a graphical email.
Okay. And Rich, is there a limit to the number of emails per month or number of contacts or any of that kind of stuff?
Good question. It's unlimited. So you can, and again, that is actually a big differentiator from a lot of real estate CRMs, which do have limits to their email. One big competitor, I think with their professional version, which is $59 a month, almost double our price, has a limit of 300 mass emails a day, 300 a day. So if I've got a database of 3,000 people and I want to send them a mass email, I got to break that over 10 days? Are you kidding me? I'm not going to do that. So with Exact Contact, you can send a mass email of any size distribution list. We don't care if it does 500 contacts, 5,000, or 20,000 people. It's unlimited. The volume of email you send in a month is unlimited. However, from a pricing point of view, your $35 a month subscription fee includes 2,500 mass emails. If you want to send more than that, you do need to bulk purchase additional mass emails. But it's cheap. I can give you an example. You can bulk purchase 10,000 mass emails for $50. It's like half a penny each. And when you bulk purchase mass emails, it's like a pool that never expires. It doesn't go away. The 2,500 that you get included in your subscription, it's kind of use it or lose it. Each month, you start with 2,500, you use it. But it doesn't kind of roll over to the next month. It's use it or lose it. But let's say you need to send 5,000 mass emails this month, or every month. First 2,500 would go out free. The next 2,500 would be pulled from that pool of that bulk purchase that you did. So after 4 months, the 10,000 would be gone. You'd have to top it up again. So there's no limits, but it's not limitlessly free because email isn't actually free. There's Constant Contact and MailChimp would not be in business if email was completely free.
Okay.
Any other questions? Well, what I'd really love to know is, what do you guys think? Like, is this something that you would be proud and excited to recommend to the students that you're training as something that they should look into and investigate?
Yeah,
No, absolutely. I think there's definitely a benefit, especially when the company side of things. A lot of times companies want technology and they don't have the capabilities of delivering it, so there's definitely opportunities there.
Yeah, I would say yes, Rich. I mean, exactly how to position it with new students and things like that is kind of what we'll figure out as we go along. The continuing ed books, it's going out to everybody in the state that's renewing their license in September, so we'll get some good feedback on that fairly quickly here.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Good.
And then,
well, sorry, go ahead, John.
No, go ahead.
All I was going to say is, if anybody has any questions, reach out to me directly. The contact info I gave for students and so on is my sales manager. But if you guys want to talk, or you want to talk Exact Contact, you have questions about how to position the product or where it stands, whatever, I'm your go-to guy. Mark's got my, John has my contact info. So John, I just want to share it with the guy. I'm just here to help in any way that I can. I believe very passionately that CRM is a cornerstone for success in real estate sales. Whether you choose ours or you choose somebody else's, every realtor should have a real estate CRM. The beauty of ours is the automation and the simplicity and the concierge setup service, but I'd rather see you go to Top Producer than not use anything, or fool yourself in thinking that Outlook or Gmail is a CRM. It's not. So I believe passionately about it. I think it does make a huge difference for realtors, and I believe the best time to put a system like this in place is the earliest in your career that you can possibly do it. The longer you wait, the harder it actually becomes to implement. So I'm passionate about it and would love to help you guys in any way that I can.
Okay, appreciate it, Rich. Thank you for the time.
All right.
Much better understanding of what it does. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you for the time and attention, and have a great day, everybody.
Okay, and then when you're done, Rich, can you send me a link to the recording of the webinar?
Yes, I will.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
Thanks. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, take care. Bye.